So this video is all about how to set up monitors because, setting up the house is pretty straightforward. You go out of the main outs 15 and 16 to your powered DXR speakers or the new DZR speakers. But then how do you deal with monitors, which sometimes they're called wedges, or sometimes they're actually in-ears? The way to go, in my opinion, in-ears are the best. So we're going to talk about this row of buttons right now. So by default, the Omni 1 out, number 1, is set up to be aux number 1. Omni out number 2 is set up to be aux number 2, and so on and so forth. Now you can change that if you want to, but outside the box, it's 1-to-1 ratio. So aux 1 is output number 1. Aux 2 is output Omni number 2. So the way it works is, let's set up a simple house mix, and let's make it look like a smiley face so we can remember what that house mix looks like. Now, I don't have any audio for this example, but I think it's more visual. So this is the house. As you can see, none of these lights are lit up except for the tap, which you can turn off, by the way. That's for the delay timing. So this is my house mix. Great. How do I set monitor mixes? So now I can have an XLR cable going out of Omni out number 1. And if I have a DXR 12 or 15 in front of me that gets connected, it's powered, good to go. I need to now send signal to that powered speaker. So I'm going to press aux 1. You can see it's flashing. It's telling you, hey, you're on a different layer. And as you notice that the fader position changed. So now these fader is basically my send levels for each of the channels to aux 1. So I can, here's the, for example, kick, snare, hi-hats, vocals, guitars. So basically this is my monitor mix basically. So here's a difference between the house mix, which has its own separate mix, and wedge number 1. I can repeat the process again. If I press aux number 2, because of motorized faders, they go down. Now I can connect another XLR cables out of the Omni out number 2 in the back to another powered speaker. Now I can have different mix for the second speaker. You repeat the process over and over again. Basically you have 8 mono sends, and then the rest you have stereo sends. And this is what I was talking about for in-ears. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can create 6 separate stereo headphone mixes quickly. And now I can send to in-ear monitor number 1, in-ear number 2, and so on and so forth. I got the question a couple of times, can I flip these to be mono or stereo? In a way you can. For example, you can use aux 1 and aux 2 as another stereo headphone mix if you want to. But when it comes to the auxes, you have to skip the even number output in order to use them. So now I have my master house mix. I have my aux 1 mix, my aux 2 mix, my in-ear mix, and so on and so forth. I'm going to show you a really cool trick that allows me to set up monitors quickly. So typically when I do a house mix, let's pretend, let me bring them all down. So here all my auxes are at 0, as you can see. But my house is that smiley face. All right. So let's assume I've established this beautiful mix in the house, and I want to start with this mix on my monitor. And I don't want to go back and duplicate that. That takes too much time. In other words, I want to start with this mix in my monitor and then maybe change some of the channels. So let me show you how that works. I'm going to press on the output. Aux number 1 is selected. I'm going to touch on send from icon. And the function button right here, if you press on it, one of the options says duplicate stereo. So the moment I touch that, it's going to duplicate my house mix to my auxes. Let's go back to the first layer. So this is my house. And notice what happens when I press aux 1. It's exactly the same. So that saved me a lot of time to start somewhere. Now, great. I don't want it to be like the house mix. I can actually go back and adjust few of the faders to my liking, and I'm there, and I can repeat the process for the other auxes. So this is a quick way to understand how the aux system works. Thank you.